Hello, I am Wanderer001 and this is my review of the AllTrails app. A couple of years ago I got back into hiking and I know there's a lot of places around me that I could go hiking. I know there's plenty of trails around. However, I was not familiar with where those trails were or what level of difficulty they were. I went out on a couple of trails and quickly realized that I was underprepared for the type of trail that I was undertaking. So yes, I could go out and get a map. But this is the digital age, and I'm lazy and didn't want to get a map. So I found the AllTrails app here. So when we start it up, you get this lovely splash screen, and then by default, the page that you see will show you trails that are based off of where you currently are. So if I open this up in another location, the trails that show up are slightly different. On this main splash screen here, you have a few choices. First being up here, you have a search button. So you can select cities, parks, trail names so that it can bring it up. In my case, if I choose Harriman State Park, the list slightly changes to show me trails that are closer to Harriman. So you'll notice it now says 194 instead of before 250 based on my current location. Now, if hypothetically, we're going to click on this actually, no, you know what, we're going to do the big hill loop here. If you click on a trail, it brings you into this extra bit of information. So on that splash screen before, you could see the difficulty rating as well as other people who've used this app, what they've thought of it, as well as here you can kind of see a basic picture of it. Scrolling down a little bit, you have directions to this particular trail. You can check in at this trail, letting people know you're here. If you share this with other people, you can record. So you can record your path. So something similar to this red line. This is the basic trail loop. But if you don't want to do that and you want to just record how you did this trail, which might have been just going in about half a mile to a mile and then coming back, you could record your progress. Now, download, that's something you actually have to pay for. This is a free app, but they do offer freemium or premium upgrades for like $29, rounded up to $30 a year. You have a heart icon here, which will allow you to save it to your favorites, which I will show you a little later. Little information about the particular trail you're looking at. Extra information. This is mainly what I'm interested in. How long the trail is, elevation, and what type it is. In this case, it is a loop type, and it is mainly for hiking. Now, there have been several changes to this app since I've started using it, some of which I like, some of which I don't, but that's neither here nor there. You have a full map view of the particular trail, as well as, there you go, that's an ad, so you got some sponsors. You have photos that other people have taken while at this trail. So most of them will give you an idea of what you can see while you're on the trail. So that's kind of nice to know what you're getting into. And then here's your overall trail rating. And then you have other users and their stars. And then here are recordings. So these are other people's recordings for this particular trail. So like I said, this one here didn't do the full loop. They did this weird Y shape. So you could do that for yourself using recordings. Coming back to the main page here, you have these buttons used to be easier to find, but they kind of blend in with the trails now. They used to be up here. But you can select Map View, which will, again, show you all the trails based on your current location. So if I come up here to Harriman, notice it says 25. If I click on that, that's because there are trails that are so closely bunched together that it just kind of stuck them all into a 25. So notice it scattered those out. And again, if I want to dig in more, there's 11 trails in this close proximity, and doing that will show you all of the trails. Now, if I come over here and select one of the trails, here we go. Blue Disc Loop Trail. It is a moderate trail. It's got excellent rating. I can click on it from here, and it will show me just everything that I was showing you on that previous page on that other one. So that's just another way to get to that. Now we're going to go back. And again, that's one of the things I don't particularly care for. The back button will not warn you if it's going to close the app. It pretty much is doing a narrowed down search when you go about the map view that way. So I'm going to clear that so that it brings back all my 250 trails that are close to me, because I want to show you filters. Filters was really, really good for me when I was first getting back into things. So you can choose best or nearest. In my case, I want my nearest trails. And then the difficulty ratings. I want easy and moderate because I'm not equipped for hard trails. And then trail length. So you have you can have a trail of nothing, or in this case, might be a little hard to see past my finger, but the maximum, or in my case, I just kind of want to shear this up, which is a little hard to do around the camera. Most I want to do is like a 10 mile trail. What do I want to do? I select this. I can have a plethora of choices. In my case, I just want to do hiking. What do I want to see? I can select that. I can see caves, river, beaches, forest. In my case, I'm just going to select views. If you had other people traveling with you, wheelchair friendly necessity or dog friendly or kid friendly, you could select that. Before, this section was really robust and you could choose multiple things. They kind of dumbed it down. They may be in the paid version, but again, not going to pay that $29 a year yet, because I found this to be fairly useful. I'm going to apply that, and what's going to happen is all the trails are going to change so that I only see moderate trails and easy trails that are within that 0 to 10 mile trail length. So I don't have to worry about seeing hard trails, and I don't have to worry about seeing trails that are even 11 miles in length, because they won't show up. Now, you will notice that the Bear Mountain loop here, the heart is kind of grayed in, while the Pine Meadow Lake loop here is not. So that means that I have put this in my favorites, which is under the plan area. We've been looking just at the explore, because explore is where you end up by default. So let's take a look at plan. Under plan, you can see my favorite trails, and the ratings are still not my ratings. They're just basically the aggregate of everybody's ratings. Lists. This is something I don't use, but it is a sharing feature, so you can have lists of specific trails that you want to share with either yourself or others. You have offline mode, which, here you go, Pro. You need to download extra things, $29.99 a year. This also covers map layers and overlays and things of that nature. So if I actually brought you into a particular map, so I just opened up a map, which I probably should have showed you before. Here, if we click on this, it's overlays. So you've got a set amount of overlays, really 3 that you can do without paying, and then you get these extras. Here you have layers. Again, downloading requires you to actually pay for the app, but you can have some, again, 3 different layers, but there's so many other things that you can get if you paid for this. Now, when I actually click on a particular trail, you can see here's your elevation, distance, all in one convenient to see place. So that was our plan area. If I click on record, which it's highlighted now, but I'm not going to show you that, again, it's if you want to record your tracks on a particular trail. Just not showing you that because it has a big red record button and pins in right where you are. And I'm currently doing this in my house, so I don't kind of want to have that show up. If we come over to history, it will show you a listing of all of the recordings that you have done, and if you check in at a particular trail, it has at the end of that, you can say, I have completed this. So I have completed this particular trail, so it's listed here. Now, profile is just that it shows a bunch of sensitive information. Not really going to show you that because, well, I want to kind of keep that sensitive information not shown. But if you are looking for an app to get you back into hiking, to kind of show you where trails are, difficulty of trails, things that you could do with your family, as opposed to maybe soloing or with a group of adventurous people, I highly recommend checking out the AllTrails app here. Now, again, this is the free version. There is a paid upgrade version for $30 a year, just round it up. And that gives you access to extra things. This particular app I've been using as is, have not found any trouble using it. There may be some people who are a little more experienced than me, and the basics that you get from this might not be enough for you. So you can do the upgrade. For everybody else, I recommend the AllTrails app here to get back into hiking and find things that are around you. I have been Wanderer001. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the area below. And as always, thanks for watching.